We all have unresolved issues with our bodies, but I am here to hopefully change your perspective. Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Rasa the dancer is here, and today's conversation is about our bodies, our perception of it, whether we love it or not. And I feel like as a professional dancer, 34 years old, I lived a life, and my profession is definitely all about body image. Is how you see yourself, how other people see you, the competition between other dancers. So I feel like I have some credit here to actually talk about our bodies, our mentality about it. And I noticed as well these days in the media, it's only conversation one way or another. So there's this fit craze that, are saying only like if you fit, you're beautiful, or if you're fat, you should be, in the gym, taking that fat off, blah, 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 blah. And then there's another side which say, I love my body no matter what. And that is also like a lot of people who might be unhealthy. They're empowering other people that it's okay to be unhealthy. And I feel like there's not a lot of actual conversation about a little bit more than just whether you this or that. So I know it's a touchy subject, but as I say, I feel like I have some insight, and I feel like this channel has been here to share all of these things that we struggle with. And so I shall talk about it. And then I would like you to get involved as well and express yourself and let me know how you feel about this conversation. So let's get straight into the deep end. Let me put my sweat off. Whew, and let's go. Okay, the first point that I want to talk about is health in general. Health is important. I don't care who you are, skinny, bigger, health fanatic or not, whatever. Health is important, right? So nobody's there to tell you, really, in general, whether you're doing something right or wrong, but your doctor. So if you are healthy, you are good. And then you can look at different aspects in terms of visually how you look, whether you're at the place where you actually like how you look. That's secondary, that you can go afterwards, right? But health, if you want to live a long life, health is important. If you don't care about living a long life, you need to also talk with a professional. But doctor is supposed to tell you, so at least once a year go do a checkup, just basic vitals and stuff. See if you can actually, do some physical, normal day-to-day life situation without feeling like you're about to die. So those kind of things, you go do once a year checkup or 2 times if it's necessary. And you see your vitals, the doctor talks to you, you know whether you're healthy or not. And then the extra is extra. So that's basically my opinion in general. First and foremost, if you are healthy, if you know it, not by the fact that you feel healthy, sometimes you feel healthy and then 2 weeks later, you're in trouble. So you gotta really just trust the professionals, go do checkup. I do my checkups all the time, and I'm extremely fit, but I'm sometimes, lacking very specific things, because when you get really fit, you have other things to worry about as well. So just go see professionals, okay? And then the second point to this point as well is what nobody is talking about is the fact that we are people who go through different stages in life. You are born, you have school, you have the teenage years where everything in your body is changing. Then you have, university where you party, you have marriage, maybe you have children. You get older, maybe you get an injury. There's so many things, and we have different stages in life. Maybe you break up with your girlfriend or boyfriend, maybe you get a divorce, maybe your parents die. It's like you have different stages in life. And I don't like to assume that everything how you look with your body, whether you are bigger or smaller, that is just always the same. We want it to be, of course, more or less in a good, healthy way all the way through. But I don't want people to feel horrible about themselves just because they're in a particular space in time where mentally they are not capable to sustain good physical health. Now, I say this because I want us to accept the fact that we are not in a good space, allow ourselves to be in that space where it's not good, have a conversation and say, I'm gonna get help, or I'm gonna try to go through this, and then be able to go back on track. What happens a lot of the time when we get into the bad space and we, let's say, start eating unhealthy, we stop exercising, we don't look after ourselves anymore, we gain so much weight that later it's harder to get back on track. But the reason it's even more harder because there's a lot of shame that is associated with. So then when you feel that shame, you can't get into the space where you forgive yourself and you continue with a better life. So, and better choices for your body. So I really think there's very important to have conversations on, yes, let's encourage people to go to the gym. Yes, let's encourage people to eat healthy and look after their body and try to look their best. But we also need to understand if a person is in a particular stage of their life where they are struggling to cope emotionally, let's focus on that rather than shame people, because shaming just doesn't work. Tough love does sometimes, but shaming doesn't work. So we want to understand what part of life they are going through right now and rather allow them to go through it, help them to go through that, rather than shame them and push them to something that is just not going to happen. So I think that is the number one for me, to understand that we all have different stages in life and things that we go through, and we're coping through differently. Some people drink, some people take drugs, some people overeat. It's okay. There's no need for shame. Let's just see how we can help each other to get out of that place. Now, let me tell you a second point that I've been thinking about a lot. I believe it's healthy to try and look your best in like any way possible. I don't think it is healthy to compare yourself to somebody else. To be inspired by somebody is different. To compare yourself means you want to look like somebody else. That is not healthy. So many reasons why. First, a lot of the factors of how we look is genetics as well. So you might have some, very lucky genes for this society, the way we look at people, and maybe you have good digestive system, maybe, you are well proportioned. But not every genetics is like that. So when you compare yourself to somebody else and you like, oh, they say that if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna look like that. You're not. No matter what, you're not gonna look like somebody else. You have different genes, you have different system, you might be fit, but your body visually will look different, right? So it's crazy how sometimes, people make a good decision. You might make a good decision. You know what? This year, I'm gonna look after myself. I'm gonna exercise and I'm gonna get, fit, and I'm gonna look incredible. And this is for both female and male. Then you go to Instagram, you see this extremely handsome, fit men or female, like sports person, whatever, because now it's, that's a different conversation. They're not real most of the time, but okay. And then you're like, I'm gonna look like this, because they say if I'm gonna do this, if I'm gonna drink these supplements, if I'm gonna do these exercises, I'm gonna look like this. Then you invest your time, you do everything, and you don't look like this. What's gonna happen? You're gonna stop. You're gonna start feeling angry, you're gonna go back to your bad habits, and you're gonna be angry at those other people, or you're gonna think that something's wrong with you, or you just can't, you know what I mean? It's not healthy. What is healthy is to be inspired and watch somebody constantly getting up early in the morning, doing good things, blah, blah, blah. But genetics is the real thing. You're going to look how you're going to look. But something to keep in mind, is healthy to want to look the best. So when you look at yourself in the mirror, you will always see different than somebody else sees you. Have you noticed in life, usually if you feel crappy and you're walking in the street and your friend will say, oh wow, you look beautiful today, and you think, what's wrong with you? Or vice versa, you come out thinking you are all fly, and then somebody turns around and is like, you look a little bit tired, did you have enough sleep? Don't tell me this has not happened to you. It happened to me. So everybody sees you differently than you see yourself. So forget about others. Think about pleasing yourself. Get yourself naked, look in front of the mirror, acknowledge what genes you have, and now how can you make the things happen and make things better that are worse for you in your eyes. So if you're looking at yourself and you notice that your legs are shorter than your waist, that's me. My legs are shorter than my waist. Then I'm thinking, okay, I cannot change the length of my legs, but what I can do is make my legs a little bit maybe skinnier, and then my waistline a little bit more toned, and then I'm gonna wear high-waisted leggings instead of short-waisted leggings, so that visually it would give me a little bit more length. That is okay, you are thinking, how can I make this work for me? What is not okay is thinking, I'm gonna do this exercise and my legs are gonna look like that. Yes? So then also it's important to try and find what kind of bodies you like, because just doing exercise don't change your body. It just makes your body more muscular or more lean or more toned, but it doesn't necessarily make the body you want. So you have to choose programs and exercises and specific meal routines in order to get the shapes and the body that you would like. So those things are super important. Don't compare yourself to somebody, be inspired by somebody, and then look at yourself in the mirror and decide, what do I want and what do I like? Now, finally, I'm gonna leave you with this little remark. I didn't want to make the video too long, so if you'd like to know my own personal story about my body and my its changes and all of my mentality through when I was really young till now, I've walked a long road, my body has changed. If you'd like to hear that story, please let me know in the comments and I will make a separate video, because I didn't want to, make a long video and maybe you're not even interested to know about my story. But I think sometimes hearing what other people go through, real people, it gives us perspective to also look back at our own life and see what's up. So I would be happy to share my story about my body changes through my years. So let me know in the comments. And also I'm planning to do a little bit kind of like a interview documentary type of thing, where I'm going to talk with different kind of people, men, women, different professions and different sizes, and see if we can have honest conversations about body image with them as well. So if you think that is of interest for you and you'd like to hear people being a little bit more open and having deep conversations about this, please let me know in the comments and I would love to hear from you. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Remember, I'm here with you. If you need anything, this channel is for you. So subscribe if you haven't yet. Give me a little thumbs up. And guys, I will see you very, very soon. Mwah. Please look after yourself.